What's up, everybody? Fester here, along with my partner in crime, Big Dan.
You're giving them another shake, aren't you?
I am.
Hey, everyone.
It's Royal Rumble Predictions Day.
Yep. And I win, so I go first.
No, sir. I won the challenge, therefore I go first.
Don't believe you.
And so first, we're actually going to pick our punishment for the loser.
Punishment?
No, yours. You're losing big time. So we have all our punishments in the hat. I'm going to let Dan pull it out.
Oh, I get to pick your punishment.
You're going to pick your own punishment.
No, you get to pick your punishment.
So the loser of the Royal Rumble show, drum roll.
Oh. Do an entire show in a different voice.
Ooh.
So our next wrestling show will have to be accents or voices for the loser. And the other caveat with that is if they don't, or if any point in time they drop and use their regular voice, there will be consequences to that.
Consequences for the consequences.
Well, consequences if you don't follow the consequences.
This is true. Fair enough. Fair enough. So I won the pinball challenge.
He lies. I won, but I'll give it to him because I'm not in the mood to fight this morning.
It's video proof. The video proof says otherwise.
Yes, and the picture proof that I have shows different. But
no, I don't think so. Photoshop, not real.
Yeah.
All right. So being the winner, I'm going to pick the.
Oops, sorry. I should turn down my volume. I just always have to interrupt you. It's just the phone did it this time.
You're mad.
I know, but you love it.
No.
Yeah, you do. Yep.
Obviously, I'm going to go with the surefire win right now. I'm going to pick the Universal Championship match and say that Brock Lesnar will retain the title.
Yeah, surprise, surprise. I actually don't know if I would have gone with that match first.
Really?
Yeah. Although
it's a sure win.
Yeah, but
that's the problem.
Yes, but it probably would. I believe there's. Well, I don't know.
It might be the only win I get.
Well, yeah, there's that side too. I just can't stand picking Brock to win anything.
I know, me either.
Well, on that same note, I'll pick the only other person in that match who could possibly win because I love you, Kane, but I doubt if they're going to let you win in this type of match. So I guess my pick in that one would be Braun. So are we keeping track of this? Are you keeping track of this? I guess we got video evidence of track.
We got video evidence. You can actually write down if you want.
Yeah.
So it's your pick, sir.
I'm going with the SmackDown tag team titles.
Usos and Gable versus...
Yes.
No, Usos versus Gable and Benjamin.
Yes.
Okay.
And I am picking a title change.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gable.
I'm expecting that myself, actually.
So, I can never remember their names, but it's Gable and
Benjamin.
And Benjamin.
Versus the Usos.
Yeah.
Jimmy and Jay.
So, I am going...
You're going with Gable and Benji?
And funnily enough, I'm not usually the one that listens to the background, but I happened on a couple of stories this week, and I think it's going to be punishment for the Uso brothers.
Yeah.
Because of recent events in their private lives, or one of their private lives. So,
yeah.
That's my prediction, but I probably wouldn't have gone that way. This is why I picked, this is probably what I would have picked first.
Yeah. Just
for the simple fact that I don't like picking Brock. Now, maybe it wasn't as bad as what it was, but we're not going to get into rumors here today. This is just a prediction show. If you really want to know, just ask us down below and we'll mention it, or set up a link to what happened. So I have Gables and... Why can I never...
Gables
and Benjamin.
Gables and Benjamin.
It's because it's a weird name. They got to come up with a team name.
Yeah, I agree.
Seriously.
I agree. So obviously I got to go with the Usos.
Yep.
And I hope to God you're wrong.
Well, why? At this point in time, if I'm wrong, we're 1-1.
Yeah,
because really, is Brock losing? No, because they've had him on a fast track. The only way Brock's losing is if he wins it back in the next pay-per-view. But he's not going to do 3 pay-per-views between now and WrestleMania. So,
no, definitely not.
So there we go. That's why I hate the WWE with Brock in it, because it's so freaking predictable. Yeah. And the Universal Champion means nothing.
Yeah.
Which is why I stopped watching shortly after WrestleMania. when I found out that he was pretty much predicted, or not even predicted, but known that he was going to own it for a year.
Yeah.
Without actually ever showing up. So, anyway.
I agree.
Enough gripe. That's for the other shows. These are just for predictions. So, next match.
The SmackDown Championship.
Okay.
The WWE Championship, to be precise. AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
So, that would leave me with that one. All right.
I gotta go with AJ.
So
I don't see him giving Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn Cole. As much as I would love to see it,
I would love
I don't
to see
think it's
it.
gonna happen.
If we were in last year's mode where it was what we want, who we wanted to win, we'd both be AJ and not AJ. We don't both have AJ losing the match.
Zayn and Owens.
Zayn and Owens, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn would have been my pick until watching SmackDown this week. So I'm not utterly disappointed, but there has the potential for this match not to be a 2-on-1 anymore with the kayfabe or not kayfabe injury to Kevin Owens. They're setting up whether he might come out, but how much of a factor he'll actually play in this match.
Well, I got a feeling he's going to be the deciding factor to lose. If he's actually in the match.
Yeah.
If it is an actual injury and he's going to be out for any extended period of time, I really don't.
But, having said this, they could also use it as a way to win the match. Because, yeah, he looked like he was legitimately hurt, but that injury could go away during the week, but he could be faking it and playing possum come Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
And pull off a victory because of that. So, I am not overly disappointed with that choice. So, but mind you that I have no idea who's going to win the rest of the matches. So, we pretty much gone how we would have probably gone.
Yeah.
So, I have KO and Zayn. So, I'm not going to... do I jump into the Royal Rumble matches right off the bat? Or do I take the Raw Tag Team? I don't know. It's hard because the Raw Tag Team match could go either way, I think, too.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Tag Team match. And I have been back and forth on this one. Back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, me too.
But I am going for a retention of the titles in this case.
Really?
Yeah. It goes against what I'm thinking. It really, really does.
And what are you thinking?
Well, just because they showed dissent in the team this week. But right now, the pop and the them working, once they lose the titles, they're done.
Oh, yeah.
So them retaining the titles and continuing is good for TV and is best for business because they're getting big pops right now with how they're getting on. And what's his name? I can't remember his name.
Jordan?
Jordan is being loved to be hated by the audience right now.
Yeah.
And it's playing really well for television, which is good for business. So I'm taking a cue from the McMahons and saying that it's best for business to keep the title on them right now.
Oh my God.
So
I say obviously I got to pick Cesaro and Sheamus, but I really think there's going to be a title change.
So yeah, I was
and maybe not there. And maybe not even a title change.
My notes were coming in.
Yeah.
So was to pick the bar, but since Monday night, it was one of the only good. There was two good things that came out of Raw this week. The first with the McMahons, that was great. That first and Stone Cold coming out and stunning the crowd. The change in character of Vince McMahon. I've never said he was a good actor, but he switched from Vince McMahon to Mr. McMahon, the boss, so nicely, and it was so beautiful. And that and him on the Peep Show was breathtaking. It really was. The audience loves to hate him.
Oh yeah.
And I wish the Peep Show was a little bit more Christian than just Christian introducing and then everything else happening. But I have to say, those were the two bright spots of Monday Night Raw. So
no, I'm going with the bar. Not necessarily a championship win, but a win nonetheless.
Okay, yeah. No, this is wins and losers.
Because
It doesn't. Even though I said I see a change in title for the. No. I picked the Gable and Benjamin to win. Yeah. This is about wins and losses. It's not about title change. These picks.
No.
Right.
Yeah. Definitely Cesaro and Sheamus.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I got a funny feeling that Jordan's gonna miss something up through the match, and him and Rollins are gonna have a falling out.
Yeah. But still be title holders. That would be interesting.
Still be title holders.
Yeah.
Then you get descent. About one wanting to lose the belt, so you haven't got to deal with the other. The other one wanting to keep it just to keep the other person around.
So we're on the same page.
So we're on the same.
Just different way of doing it.
Yeah. So I think I think the bar, definitely the bar. 30 women Royal Rumble match. The first ever 30 women's Royal Rumble match.
The only problem I have with the two Royal Rumble matches is that I think there's a heavy favorite going in to both of them, but the WWE tends to throw curveballs when it comes to the Royal Rumble and not have, especially now with SmackDown and Raw being separated, because the person can still get a title match at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
even if someone else wins.
Yes.
Right?
I agree, because it depends on what belt they want to go after.
Yeah, actually, it doesn't seem... I've read a couple of articles this year that they're not allowed to switch sides.
Oh, okay.
That it's only free agents
who
would be surprise entrants that would be able to pick. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that was actual rules or if that's people coming up with the rules.
Yeah.
But I heard that it would act like it wouldn't... I'm sure they could because it's all kayfabe anyway.
Yeah.
But it would actually have to be a trade rather than them picking to go after either title.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I think they're really trying to keep SmackDown and Raw separate this time.
Yeah.
It's been working so far, so I think that's what they're trying to do. So just because you think the person on Raw is going to get a title match doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to win the Rumble. Which changes things up, doesn't it?
I'm so torn. Yeah, but I was torn with this one anyway because I'm stuck on two.
Okay, are they on different?
No,
they're both on the same.
No,
they're not even there.
One is.
Okay, one is.
One's not.
Oh, okay.
One's a possible surprise entrant.
Oh, okay.
On one hand.
Come on, you at least got to give the two because they're sitting there going, he's not saying anything.
Well, all right. Initially, it was Asuka and Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
That's the two I'm stuck on. Now, if Asuka loses the Rumble, it doesn't count as a loss.
No.
Because it's not considered a traditional match.
No, it's not.
So she can get eliminated from the Rumble, still keep her undefeated streak intact, and still possibly end up going to Mania and fighting for the Women's Championship.
Yeah.
On the other side, you got Ronda Rousey, who's been in talks with WWE as of late, big time, with Triple H.
Apparently, yeah.
Apparently.
There's no mention of her on TV, so.
No.
I've heard that there is.
Yeah, but
you've mentioned it to me,
yes.
So that's how I know. But there've been talks since, what, two WrestleManias ago?
Yeah.
So
I think they could bring in Ronda as a surprise entrance, win the Rumble, and face Charlotte at Mania. Because but then, it's tough. It's very tough because you can have Asuka beat Alexa Bliss and have Ronda Rousey versus Asuka at Mania. Or you can have Ronda Rousey win the Rumble and face Charlotte at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So you've got two really good stellar matches.
No, I disagree with you on that.
You got one. Charlotte, not so much. She's just.
It's not Charlotte that I'm worried about.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think Ronda and Asuka would have a good match?
I'm iffy about someone coming in from that world into the wrestling world and having their first match really at WrestleMania. It's good for TV, it's good for ratings, but as a wrestling and a good match, I don't buy it. That's my issue with that, right? honestly, not that I'm surprised because the WWE and everything they've done with Brock over the past 5 years or however long he's been back. But as a true hardcore wrestling fan, to bring Ronda Rousey in and to win the Rumble would piss me off.
I got another feeling that everybody's going to be wanting that.
I'd like to see her in it, don't get me wrong. But I wouldn't want to see her win it on her first ever match.
No, I wouldn't. Yeah, Asuka. Yeah. Going with Asuka.
I'm going with Asuka. I've talked about it, even though Asuka was my pick. So I didn't help myself out there. So I was basically breaking it down between SmackDown and Raw. Mm-hmm. I picked a SmackDown winner, or who I think should win in SmackDown, and who I think would win on Raw. And then I was very much... So Asuka was obviously the Raw pick.
Obviously.
Because I don't think any of the surprise entrants would win. Or Ronda Rousey has the potential to win, but personally, I just wouldn't be able to pick her because I'm like, they wouldn't do that. They really wouldn't do that.
No, they wouldn't do that.
But I'd like to see her, and I would like to see her involved, but I'd like to see her involved and get eliminated by someone and start a feud that way with her. And give her some experience. And get her to a championship match at next year's WrestleMania. Yeah. That's the one thing that's really nice about Royal Rumbles. It is a beautiful opportunity to set up matches.
It's either that or they are going to set up the Four Horsewomen match for Mania.
Yeah, they could do that.
They could. They could start it in the Rumble.
Speaking of that, my SmackDown pick would be Becky Lynch. Yeah. So, as you went with Asuka,
you're going with
Becky Lynch. So
fair enough.
I was actually thinking Becky Lynch because once again, Asuka is the odds-on favorite. All the announcers are saying it. All the reporters are saying it. Everyone is saying Asuka should win this match. I think it's mostly the undefeated streak that she has. So I could see her not winning just because the WWE does like to throw curveballs at Royal Rumble.
They do.
So that's why I went. And Becky Lynch hasn't done much. She just returned, I believe, from an injury. I only just started watching.
Yeah.
So it would be nice for her to get back into the title hunt with a win, and then it sets up her and Charlotte. Even though right now it's face versus face, but I don't know if you saw what she did on SmackDown. Yeah. She tossed what's her face over the top rope. The Glow.
Oh, Naomi.
Yeah. They won a match together, and then she tossed Naomi over the. Now Naomi didn't go all the way over.
No, she just laughing.
They were sort of, and then Charlotte came out and went, "Good going." Yeah. So it sort of set something up there, which made me go, "Okay, Becky Lynch."
Really?
Yeah. Because she didn't come out didn't come out with them up onto the stage because they've been together, those three, the last little bit. Yeah. She just came out to the apron and went, "Now that's a side of you I hadn't wanted to see again." So.
Yeah, which is why I thought that the Four Horsewoman match was going to happen at Mania. Because you got Sasha, you got Bayley, and you got Becky Lynch.
So that would be a crossover match.
So if you got, because Shayna Baszler definitely going to be in the Rumble. The other missus from UFC.
The
one that was with.
She's already in it, isn't she?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
sorry, I don't know these names because I've been out for. She was just barely starting in NXT.
Yeah, she started in the Mae Young tournament.
Yeah, so I didn't get to see any of that because I stopped watching.
It was so good. But yeah, she's partners with Ronda. She was in the Four Horsewomen from UFC. Yeah. So it was only the other two were apparently in training. Yeah. So that could easily start something right there. Yeah. With the two of them in the Rumble and the other three, and then Charlotte in the back watching, right? Yeah. And then be like, no. And then had the big 8-man match at Mania.
Oh, okay. Now I thought you meant a 4-way match with the Four Horsewomen.
No.
You mean a tag team match? Okay, yeah. Between the UFC people and the Four Horsewomen. Yeah. So it'd be sort of a crossover thing too.
Yeah, well, it'd be Four Horsewomen versus Four Horsewomen. Yeah. So.
Okay. They call themselves the Four Horsewomen too over. Yeah. I don't follow UFC. So.
Yeah. They used to call themselves the Four Horsemen.
I enjoy UFC, but I don't follow it at all. So okay, cool.
So
that's I like that angle. Yeah, that would work too.
I think they might go for that. Even though they, I guess, talk themselves out of it and then talk themselves back into it again.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Once again, that'd be pretty quick to pull it off, but you never know. The thing,
Rumble's
the Rumble is the perfect time to do it.
So I mean, because you've got all those combustible elements.
And Rumble and WrestleMania used to be a good time to start things like that, but now they look at WrestleMania as this conclusion to everything rather than a start.
Yeah.
Which I don't like, because you could say, okay, say something happens in the Rumble between what's her face, Ronda Rousey and someone else, one of the Four Horsewomen.
Yeah.
So it becomes, rather than it becomes a tag team match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And then the other two jump in at WrestleMania. So it becomes 4-on-4, and then that starts something to conclude it. Because up till SummerSlam, it's happening on Raw, it's happening on SmackDown.
Yeah.
But all of them aren't together until you get to SummerSlam. See, that's the thing. WrestleMania could be it doesn't have to be a finish in my mind, but they've been treating it as the conclusion. Yeah. Everything's got to be concluded and start over. And I don't like that. But anyway, once again, that's another pay-per-view, and that's not what we're talking about.
Nope.
So, that leaves us with... Or do you want to do we should do the entrance now, seeing we're talking about that match. The whole tiebreaker?
Yeah.
As well. We said we had tiebreaker rules set up. And we do. Unfortunately, I think the first tiebreaker rule is whoever gets the most right on the pre-show. Or the pre-show. There's no matches listed for the pre-show yet. There may be some matches. We don't know. There could be a U.S. title. There could be an Intercontinental title match. We don't know. So, seeing this is the Royal Rumble, we've decided to do something a little differently, and we're going to try and predict surprise entrants into the Rumble. So we'll do our women's picks now. Once again, we're going to go back and forth.
Even though I've got these listed here, I'm pretty sure I've got a couple changes in my mind.
Having said that, these are people who are not listed right now as entrants. They could be people on the roster, or people off the roster. Right now, I think, as of taping, there was 17 men and 18 women, I think, as entrants. So that's where we're going, and as I lost, I get to go. Actually, how do you want to do this? You want me to pick first because you picked first, and in the men, I picked first, so you picked the first for the end. Okay. So, wow, I wasn't expecting that. So my first pick, I've got about 5 or 6 women listed here. Ember Moon.
Yeah, I had Ember too.
So that would be, I should actually put her over here. So Ember Moon. All right.
I also had Ember Moon, but seeing as how we want to diversify and not have the same...
Yeah, well, and it keeps it interesting for you because you now get 6 predictions as to who we think is going to be...
Trish Stratus.
Rather than, she's up there too, yeah. She's my number 2.
Yeah. She was my number 1.
So
actually, Ember was my number 3.
So, Trish...
So, Trish Stratus, I'm going with Trish.
All right, so that takes away my number 2. I'll go to my number 3, which is Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
So... Yeah, so far we're...
Michelle McCool.
Okay, Michelle, she wasn't even on my list.
Although, she's been teased.
Oh, I know. No, don't get me wrong. I think she might be there. She just wasn't on my list. So that means, my 3 is gone, so I have to move to 4. I have the Glamazon.
Really?
The Phoenix. I don't think she's going to last long or very much, but I think it would be nice to see her in garb out there. And she's there already because she's been doing the play-by-play for the Mixed Match Challenge.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Well, the ones I had listed I've already said now. So,
I guess we're only doing 3, huh?
Off the top of my head, who's left? Nikki Cross.
That was my next one as well. Now, I was iffy on Nikki because I'm assuming that the women's match will come before the men's match.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if they'd want Nikki to be the first Sanity member to come up to the main roster.
Well, not even necessarily coming up to the main roster.
No, but I know because they don't always stay, and they bring up NXT man too. I know, but even then, I just didn't know if they want her to be the. She was down. She was next on my list, and I had 6. So my next, no more picks. We were doing 3 each.
Yeah.
But I also had Molly Holly on my list.
You know what? I forgot all about Molly.
Yeah. So
Forgot all about
she
Molly.
was number 6 on my list. So, all right. So moving on to the men's Royal Rumble match. I have no idea. I literally have it is so lining up to be Roman Reigns. And I can't pick him. Oh,
really?
Undertaker's gone. I can't. I just can't because as much as we're doing this to who we think is going to win, the WWE has lined this up so predictably.
Yeah.
Just lost his Intercontinental title. Everyone knows that's the match that's coming at WrestleMania with him and Brock.
So it's a surefire win if you pick.
But it's not because they tend to throw you curveballs at the Royal Rumble. Yeah. And in this case, where it's not the only championship match, right? He can still get that championship match and not win the Rumble because if a SmackDown person wins it, they can take on the title. They can take on AJ or whoever is the champion over there.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to pick the other person who's been listed as the odds-on winner, and that's Nakamura, Shinsuke Nakamura. So that's my pick. Even though once again everyone's going, oh yeah, Shinsuke. I think they have to do something like this to keep his character strong and relevant.
Yeah.
I don't think the fans are going to lose him, but the storylines have got him lost.
Oh my god, so bad.
And can you imagine a Shinsuke Nakamura and an AJ Styles match at WrestleMania?
Oh, hands down, it'd be an awesome match.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be like Wrestle Kingdom all over again.
Yeah. So that's got... Yeah, exactly. That is a true wrestler's dream match. Not Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. But the worst thing is, do you know something? Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar will get top billing at WrestleMania. And this match between AJ and Shinsuke will get bumped down to first match of the night.
Probably.
To lead off, because they know it's going to be a good match.
Yeah.
And it would set the momentum for the rest of the night.
Yeah, that's true. Well, if not first match, then like
it'll be
like,
end of the first hour sort of thing. Yeah. Or mid-card to keep the energy going over the 10 hours that Mania will be this year.
10,000 hours of WrestleMania.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's my pick. Shinsuke.
Shinsuke next. Oh.
So who are you going with? Are you doing it? Are you doing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Roman Reigns.
All right.
I might kick myself in the ass later, but I'm going with Roman.
Okay. So before we talk about anything else, we are going to do 3 picks of each one, but that's tiebreakers. So to recap what we have so far.
All right.
The first match you picked was the Universal Championship.
Yes.
You picked Brock
Lesnar.
I went with Braun Stroman. The second match was my choice. I went with the SmackDown tag titles. And I said that there'd be a change in championships. I think there'll be a change in championships, but it's not about a change in championships. It's about who's going to win the match. Yeah. And I have it as Gable and Benjamin. And you have it, therefore, as
Usos.
I don't know if you like that or don't like that. But
I actually do like that. I was actually going to pick the Usos up until,
Yeah. So, yeah.
Glug, glug, vroom, vroom, thump, thump.
All right. Back to you. You then picked the
phenomenal AJ Styles
to retain his WWE Championship belt. And I was happy about that, sort of. Because my original pick was KO and Sami Zayn to be joint. Because can you imagine the fun on SmackDown? And if something like this is going to happen, it's going to happen on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Right? It's not going to happen on Raw. It'll happen on SmackDown. So that was the other deciding factor. I'm like, yeah, that could happen on SmackDown.
Yeah.
So next up was the Raw Tag Team Champions, which was my choice.
Your choice.
Wow, I picked both tag teams. You picked both champions as matches. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Well, not that I had much of a choice. Well, I could have picked the women. But anyway, moving on. I decided that I thought
Jordan and Rollins.
Jordan and Rollins, because I can't remember names, so I'm glad he jumps in. You therefore have
the Bar.
Which
we are the Bar.
You know what's funny? We said we'd think alike, but I'm pretty sure we would have picked opposite for this. Then we moved on to the
Women's Royal Rumble match,
where you picked
Asuka. Yes. I had stopped and think. Who did I pick? I was confused.
And I picked Becky Lynch, which I was happy with because although I thought Asuka, I figured I'd go SmackDown. And I am really SmackDown heavy because then we went with the men's Royal Rumble match, and I picked Shinsuke Nakamura.
And I picked Reigns. I'm really Raw heavy, aren't I?
Yeah, it is really. Well, as far as the matches we picked, I picked the SmackDown. Well, actually, no, that's not true because the matches you picked were the championships. I picked the tag teams.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but as far as our two, so we now have to finish our tiebreaker, which is 3 surprise entrants into the men's Royal Rumble. As I picked that match, you are up first.
Eric Young.
Eric Young. He was on my list, but not at the top. He was number 3 on my list. My number 1 is Bobby Roode.
Woo!
Just
Booby Roode, as his name has been. Booby Roode.
He is not, as of timing of this taping, listed as a member, and I can't see him not being in the match.
No.
So,
for me, and this is going on the limb as far as you can reach.
Okay.
Daniel Bryan.
I don't think that's going to know because there's rumors like crazy about it. I mean, I don't even follow rumors, and every time I turn on WWE, if I put in WWE in a search engine, it's Daniel Bryan entering the Royal Rumble. So,
I just got a gut feeling. Yeah, I just got a gut feeling.
Well, they're setting something up.
They're definitely setting something up between him and Kane.
We talked about this on, or if AJ loses his title, him and AJ.
Yeah. Which would be
or even if he doesn't lose his title, if someone on SmackDown doesn't win the Royal Rumble between him and AJ for the title.
Yeah.
Or if he wins, definitely the MS. So, my next is Aleister Black. Ooh. I think
you know what? He never crossed my mind.
He spent enough time in NXT. I think this is a good opportunity for him to come over. Maybe do about another month, but be over permanently, or come over right after WrestleMania as a permanent.
Yeah, I got a feeling he'll be over after Mania.
He hasn't gotten a title match yet down in NXT, but I think his character they've got so many injuries right now in the WWE that it wouldn't hurt to bring him over and to do some sort of storyline with someone that is set up in the Royal Rumble. He meets up with someone in the Rumble, and whether they both take each other out or whatever to set up a match for Mania. Yeah. So, because they're getting desperate, I think, for bodies. Because the rumors are that KO's injury, I mean, maybe it's not his ankle, but that he's got a nagging injury. I think he's trying to hold on for WrestleMania. Yeah. But I don't know if he can make it. So yeah, and we all know the list is long as far as their injuries. So that's what I'm thinking. Aleister Black. So I've got 1, 2 off my list so far, but you've got my 3.
I've got 2 off mine, and the only other one I could think of off the top of my head was Shane McMahon.
Oh no, yeah, Shane McMahon 3. There we go. No, you did take 2 off my list. Shane, wow.
Shane. I got a funny feeling that Daniel Bryan's going to end up in the Rumble, and Shane's going to get angry, and he's going to jump in the Rumble.
Dolph Ziggler.
And I thought about him too.
Yeah. So. And the only other person that I have on my list, and this is pure rumor that I ran across last night, and that's Ethan Carter III, or Derek Bateman, as he was known in the WWE.
Who?
Ethan Carter III.
Yeah, but what was his
Derek Bateman.
Derek Bateman.
I do believe that was his name in WWE. He was in the WWE. He was in NXT before.
Oh,
the original
right,
NXT
right.
when they used to do the whole.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan was there.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think this was his name. Something like that.
Yeah,
something
sounds
weird
right.
like that.
Sounds right.
So, those are our predictions. Just to recap our surprise entrants. For the Women's Royal Rumble, I had Ember Moon, Ronda Rousey, and the Glamazon Beth Phoenix. You had Trish Stratus, Michelle McCool. Trish Stratus and Michelle McCool and Nikki Cross. For the men's match, you picked Eric Young, Daniel Bryan, and Shane McMahon. And I have Bobby Roode, Aleister Black, and Dolph Ziggler. Funnily enough, I have 3 people on the roster.
Funnily enough.
Yeah, funny enough.
Funnily.
Yeah.
Funnily.
I have 3 people on the roster for the men's match. I just realized that. No one off the roster.
Ah.
So, you have 3 people technically
on
the roster, but not wrestlers.
Yeah. Well, two definitely not.
Yeah. So that's that. And then we have our consequence,
which is
we have to do voices the next time. It doesn't matter what it is, and it can change
for the entire show.
And it can change.
It can change.
Not necessarily our own voice. It could get interesting and hard to hear for you, but
it was hard to hear for me.
He does impersonations. I just do weird sounding voices.
And if you're not down with that, then I've got 2 words for you.
All right, before we finish, I do want to get your opinion, and we can throw this in at the end because if people don't want to watch it, they don't have to. Your opinion on Raw 25. I know we should be talking about this in 2 weeks, but it'll be so far behind us at that point in time that I won't want to talk about it again.
I will gladly sum it up for you in 1 word.
What's that? That's not a word.
Well, I'm sure you can into Google and it'll be like
and it would bring up Raw 25.
Yeah.
I agree. You heard me talking about it earlier. There was 2 or 3 good moments in 3 hours.
Yeah.
I can't believe they put the Intercontinental match in the end of the first hour. It became a throwaway match. Don't get me wrong, it was a fairly good match, but it was a throwaway match at the end of the first hour. The opening of the show was great. I didn't know they were doing it in 2 venues, so I was surprised to see him start it. Yeah, my first impression was, they're doing a 25 show and this is all the people they could fit in? Wow, that's stupid. Then they brought it to the Barclays Center, so it made complete sense. So, the venues, to have 2 venues, you need to go back and forth.
Yeah.
You need to do a match over there, send it back to a match at the other one to go back and forth. Where it was once an hour, basically, is what we got down at the other place. The Undertaker coming in with nothing. There was no entrance. His music played, but there was no lights, no nothing. It was just lights up. There was not even a dimming of the lights or an increasing of the lights. It was just, he walked in. He was completely, don't get me, I heard someone say, we watched the British guys who do Wrestling News.
Yeah.
They said, they actually quoted someone, I think they quoted someone else, but a lot of stuff was said. It was said really well, but nothing was said.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what are those guys called? So
Wrestle Talk?
Wrestle Talk, that's what it is. Love
Wrestle
you
Talk
guys.
News.
If you guys are listening, love you guys. Yeah, you're listening, but hey.
Nah, let's be honest. Nobody listens to us.
But having said that, it's true.
Yeah.
A lot was said, but nothing was said.
A whole lot of nothing. Although I do have a feeling that was his way of saying I'm retired. I could be wrong. He may even show up in the Rumble. I wouldn't be surprised at this point.
I will hold my judgment on that in a month's time.
Yeah.
I will look back in a month's time and say, yes, it was, or won't know it wasn't.
Well,
I think it has the potential to be, but I don't think it was that clear.
If he shows up in the Rumble, obviously.
I don't think he'll be in the Rumble, but he might show up after the Rumble on one of the... he might be, yeah, but I don't think he will be.
I hope not.
But I'm not ruling him out from being on Raw or SmackDown over the next 2 or 3 weeks. Anyway, other than that,
I want him to be done.
What?
I want him to be done.
Oh, I am the same way.
I don't want to see him go through another match like he did last year at Mania. Even though I knew he was injured, but
the opening was great. I love the whole McMahon Stone Cold. I was disappointed that Stone Cold never got on the mic.
He didn't have to.
No, he doesn't have to, but I still like him on the mic.
What?
Well, even if he got interviewed out back, or if he
what?
On it, exactly.
What? What?
See, because that's one side of him, and I like to get the other side of him too. What we saw was one side of him.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see the other side too.
Fair enough.
What? I enjoyed Jason Jordan. Is it Jason Jordan?
Yeah.
And that whole segment in the Peep Show.
I can't even listen to him talk.
Jason Jordan? But that's the thing. Neither can anyone else, and they love to hate him. That's why it works.
I put everything on mute or I change it.
But that's why it works, because they wouldn't. I don't know. Did you watch it at all? The audience would not let him get a word in edgewise.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that.
They would not let him. I loved it. Loved it.
You're terrible.
No, don't get me wrong. I don't love him, because he's so bad that the audience boos him that it's working. It's working.
Well, he's getting over his heel, hands down.
Yeah. It very much is. I love opposites brought together for a championship and stuck together because of a championship.
Well, that's what happened with Sheamus and Cesaro.
Yeah, Sheamus and Cesaro, and the same go back years, right, with Daniel Bryan and Kane. Right? It can be so much fun, and the WWE needs a little bit more fun. Yeah. Because there's no...
Well, Goldust and R-Truth. Goldust and Booker T.
Yeah.
And
the Rock and Sock Connection.
Rock and Sock Connection. RV Dean, Kane.
So, we can keep going.
Miz and Big Show. Jericho and Big Show.
What did you think of the end? The last segment.
Oh, the
DX versus DX bringing in including the Click.
Was that the last segment?
No, you're right. No, the Braun. Sorry.
The Braun.
The last segment at the old Raw is what I meant to say.
Oh, with DX and the Balor Club?
DX, including the Click involved, getting the Click involved as much as they could. And they bringing in the Balor Club. Apparently he couldn't, they couldn't, it was travel conflicts or something. He couldn't quite make it. Is what I heard.
Yeah.
And then bringing the Balor Club, not knowing if it was going to be a good thing. I thought they did that really well. When the Balor Club came out, I didn't know if it was going to be a face-off to why are you doing the stuff that we were doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was thinking at first too when I seen it.
Because I have a feeling the Balor Club may not go heel completely, but they're going to go with a heel type attitude. Little cockiness.
Well, I mean, that's obvious.
No, but I mean, so they could have come out in that situation. No. But they could have come out in that situation like, you guys are old school, get out of our ring.
Yeah.
We're the new club in town.
Yeah.
Right? And they didn't.
No.
Which was nice and not so nice. I think I would have rather actually seen them go, this is our ring now, get out of here, you guys you old timers.
No, because you had Shawn Michaels, you had Triple H in the ring, so they would have...
I know they would have, well, what happened with what could be the best team in the WWE, but due to injuries, bad timing, and horrible writing,
they call themselves professional wrestlers, not entertainers.
Which is so true, but anyway.
They are professional wrestlers.
Yeah.
They're awesome, and they're amazing at it.
Vince doesn't like that.
Vince doesn't like it. So they buried them.
And yeah, they're buried now. They're going to need a miracle to get back to roster.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it up to that point. If they had just lost the match, I wouldn't have minded so much.
Yeah.
But then they got destroyed.
Yeah.
And then, I've heard a lot of people complain about the actual last sequence in the Raw.
The brawl.
The lack of.
Stupid. Yeah, it was bad.
It was
in the ring. Brock gives him that 5. Stroman comes out. They brawl a little bit. Then Stroman puts him through the announce table with a power slam, and that was it.
Yeah.
There's no more to it than that.
What I found weird was the Lumberjacks. But I'm like, are really any of these guys really going to be able to keep these three guys away from each other?
No.
And then what I found funny too is that they're really trying to make. They're having WWE, whether it's writers, are having a hard time deciding who's the worst of the bunch.
Yeah.
Because for the last 3 weeks, they've made Braun Stroman the bad guy sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
He's the bad, like, no one can stop him. He's beat up on both of the other guys. So, but when Braun comes in and Kane comes in, the wrestlers separate them. Brock shows up on the ring, and the wrestlers scoop before he even makes his way down to the ring. I'm like, really? Seriously? Haven't you spent the last 3 weeks making it that Braun is the guy you can't control?
And
they run
everybody like the Red Sea. Yeah.
That made no sense to me.
Not at all.
Right?
I didn't like it.
So, yeah, I don't like anything they're doing with Lesnar. I enjoyed the Goldberg-Lesnar match last year, except for the fact it was for the title.
Yeah.
I think they could have done that without for the title, and it would have been just good as really good. And then we could have had a title all year, which we haven't had on Raw.
Yeah.
So, then again, if we had a title on Raw, they would have given it to Reigns, and he'd be booed out of the stadium, and we'd still have the problems we have now. So that's our show. I just wanted to get your opinion on Raw because I figured in a week's time, 2 weeks' time, it would be, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
So
I didn't want to talk about it now.
Talk about it while it's fresh. So, because, it was bad. As a go-home show, too, there was nothing done to set up for
Absolutely
Royal Rumble. No additional entrants, no... I would have liked, because they could have, right? They could have brought some old guys back, or not even old guys. Like MVP was there.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, he's still wrestling.
Yep.
He could have went, you know what? I'm enjoying this here tonight. I'm going to throw my name in the hat. So what? It's a week contract. You give him a week contract and he's gone the week after? That would have made it actually relevant.
Yeah.
But you could have plopped that show down anywhere in the year and it would have worked. Because the only thing that was really of any consequence was the Intercontinental match. And then they killed the whole feud. In my mind, they've killed the feud between Woken, Matt Hardy, and Bray Wyatt as a 2-minute match ended with a clean finish. Yeah. So I think they're done with Woken.
Yeah, I think so.
So
I get that feeling. Anyway, that's going to do it for this week. We're going to catch you guys next time.
We'll talk about some of these things.
Results and
we'll discuss some of these things.
Who gets to deal with the consequences? Don't worry, they do get a little worse than just a different voice. So
we've got a bunch in there right now. Smoothie was the one that I was hoping not to be. Mystery smoothie. But anyway.
You mean you don't like mayo in your smoothie, sir?
Yeah, I think you're the one that's a little more scared about that one. Anyway. Check you guys wrestling probably in about 2 weeks' time.
Yep.
All right.
Catch you later.
See ya.